Hey guys, thank you so much for picking up one of the back to school craft packs. In this video, we are going to be doing the Treat the Teacher UV DTF decal projects. So let's get into it. So when you first receive your order, you are going to receive your UV DTF decals on a roll like this. So you just want to remove the rubber band. And as you unroll it, you see all of the amazing designs that we are going to use for our projects. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut off anything above the dotted line with that line included. And you can save this for adding it to something else. We see you guys add these little logos to really fun ideas. So make sure if you do, make sure you post it in our Facebook group for us to see. We love to see them. So let's go ahead and cut out the first project. So in this decal sheet, you are going to see different sizes of things, and it can get a little bit confusing, but don't worry, I'm gonna guide you through it all the way. So the first thing I wanna do is our tumbler. It's going to be really, really cool. This is a really nice water bottle, and we are going to be using this design right over here. It says smart is the new cool. So let's go ahead and cut that out so that way we can make our water bottle. And now we have our design all by itself. So you are going to get your water bottle. It's going to come in a box just like this. And when you take it out, you will find that we have this really cool lid, and it just unscrews and pops right off like that. But we are going to take this off because I have a really cool trick to show you in order to get this wrap just right. So we have our water bottle here, and I'm actually gonna trim off a little bit more of this edge here. I want to leave just a little bit though, because I'm going to use it to help align. So you just want to leave just a little bit from the edge of your design, and we are going to wrap it around just like this. And so you'll want to pick it up and just get a really good look at it. Just want to kind of eyeball it. You want to give, you know, kind of an equal distance between the top and bottom ridges. And after you are happy with the placement, we are actually going to incorporate some painter's tape. Now, this is going to help keep this wrap steady while you do the full wrap. So let's grab just a little bitty piece to start. Well, there we go. Okay, I got our piece here. And so let's realign it because my hand kind of slipped a little bit. So I'm going to attach this. I'm going to place down here at the bottom, and then I'm going to grab another small piece, and we are going to place it here at the top. So your painter's tape should be covering about 50-50. You want it over the decal itself, and then you want it also attached to the water bottle on both the top and bottom. If you want, you can do a full stripe down the middle, but I just wanted to do the two little pieces. So whatever you want to do, that is all you. So now you can see we can let go of the wrap, and it's going to stay in place. So now we're going to incorporate using the hinge method. We left a little bit of space on each side of the design. So whatever side you want to start with, I think I'm going to start with this side over here. I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to peel just a little bit of the back off. Just enough to where right before your design starts to peel away. And then we're going to cut the backing off, just a little tiny strip. The reason you want a little tiny strip of the design exposed is because we are going to go through and we are going to start laying this down, and this sticky adhesive part is going to apply to the bottle. So we're going to do that part first. You can just place it and run it along with your finger. And then now is when we start incorporating the hinge method. So we have our piece adhered. We are now safe to remove our painter's tape. And then now you are going to, I would just keep my finger just placed above or right on top of that exposed area just to make sure it doesn't come off. But you are going to flip it over and kind of work where this backing starts to come off. And then after we got it going, and now we're going to grab our squeegee, and you're going to use that squeegee to go top to bottom, and you will see that backing start to release as you go. This is my favorite method to apply, but there are other methods that you can check out. Heather and I did a tutorial of showing you 4 different ways to apply. So if you want to check those out, you can check out the video in the description and on our YouTube channel. So you just want to keep pushing and it will stay perfectly aligned for you. And then at the end, you do want to be careful though, because you are going to get some areas where it could overlap. So what I'm going to do is stop right before we're ready. Go ahead and remove the rest of the backing. And then it does look like I'm going to have some overlap. So I'm going to go ahead and start removing the transfer on this side, just enough to place this other side here. Okay, so now that that part has been exposed, we can just use our finger to go along the rest of the design. Okay, there we go. And if you want to go another once over with the squeegee, you are more than welcome to, just to make sure everything is adhered properly. And then we're gonna keep removing this. And there we go. We have this really cool water bottle ready to go to school with. Where is my lid? Here we go. There we go. And it even has this little hook here. You can hook it to your backpack, and there we go. Isn't that so cool, guys? I am in love with it. So let's get started on our next project here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to do this really cool little craft planner. It has a little planner for the week. It has some note areas. This is gonna be really handy for your kiddos or a teacher, anyone who will want to make sure their life is organized this school year. So in this project, you have 2 different options. You can do the Smart is the New Cool. That one would match your water bottle, or you can do the the influence of a good teacher can never be erased. So I want my little notebook to match my water bottle. So I'm going to use this design right over here. And I'm going to also cut off this strip. You want to make sure you cut that off before you start applying your design. Okay. And I'm going to use the hinge method again. So we're gonna do it. We don't have to do a full wrap this time. So we are just going to start here at the top. Remove just a little bit away from the backing so that we can cut a little bit of that backing off. Okay, so now that we have a little bit of that exposed, we are going to place the design exactly where we want. So there is an option where if you want to place it in the middle, you can kind of have it more at the bottom, more at the top, and then you can even further customize your notebook. So if you want to know how, be sure you check out our other video in the description. And I think I want to go right smack dab in the middle. So now that I have this placed where I want it, same thing, we're just going to use our finger to apply just that little bit of exposed area. Flip it over, get that backing to start coming off a little bit more. Use our squeegee and just gently roll it off. Easy. I love these decals. They are so incredibly easy to use, guys. So let's give it another good burnish, because this is a paper, so you want to make sure this gives a really good burnish to really grab hold. And then we're just gonna start taking that top off. And there we go. Look how cute. So now we have our matching planner notebook we have with our water bottle. So let's make a pin and a bag tag next. So let's do our pin next. So these can accept sublimation ink, but we are going to do a pin wrap with this. So you want to first, we're gonna take it apart because this little piece here is going to be a little bit in the way. Something in the way. So we just want to unscrew that piece there, take out our spring and our ink, and then this will just slide right out and you'll get the coils and everything. So now we just have the base itself, and we're going to pick out a really fun design for it. So there are a few different options. So there is another smart is the new cool, and then there are some teacher ones to match the shirt. So I think I'm gonna cut out this smart is the new cool one. So let's do this one. It's going to match our notebook. It's gonna match our water bottle. I love a good matching set. So let's do this design. So now that we have our design cut out, we are just going to kind of place it on there. So you also want to keep in mind that this little slot right here, so I have the bulk of my design on the opposite side of that. And then we are going to wrap it around like this. So you can tell there's gonna be a lot of overlap with this. So we want to be very careful when we are applying this one since it is so small. But guys, don't worry, it's gonna be so easy. So you can, if you want, use some painter's tape, but I'm just going to kind of hold on to it. And we are going to do the exact same thing, hinge method all the way, and expose just a little bit of this design here. Cut away that backing, and then just be very careful because since it is so tiny, your hand can slip a little bit. So I'm just gonna give it one more look over before I really adhere anything, just to make sure that everything is going to be placed where I want it. If my pencil was gonna overlap a little bit, so just turn it, and I think that is going to be perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my finger just to apply this section here. And then same thing, hinge method, we're gonna flip it over, but I think I'm safe to go ahead and kind of remove the whole backing for this one. I'm going to go just a little bit with the hinge method just to make sure that my first parts of my design are really, really adhered. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it, and then we're just gonna go for it for this one, guys. So we have the rest of it exposed. Just use your fingers, and you want to go just back and forth, just very carefully to apply the rest of it. And then same thing like with our water bottle, you're going to eventually come up to the area where we had applied at first. So there's gonna be a little bit of an overlap. So then before we get too far, we want to start removing that carrier here. And just be very careful. There we go. So now as that gets removed and out of the way, we can go ahead and finish applying the rest of our wrap. Now that it is all applied, I can actually see I accidentally overlapped the little hook on my backpack. So we're just going to remove this top transfer here, and we are going to fix that. So now that it is all the way wrapped, I do have this little section of my backpack. So I'm just going to fold it over and cut that off with an X-Acto knife. There we go, and you can see where my pencil was just a little bit too far over. So my placement was not exact, but otherwise it turned out really, really well. So let's piece it back together. So I'm going to start by putting this part back in, and you just want to make sure that this piece is where that slot is gonna be. And then it just pushes all the way in. You want to add your ink and your spring, and then add this back. And there we go. So now we have our matching pin to match our planner and our notebook. So everything matches so far. I am in love with this little set. I think this is so fun. This is gonna be an amazing little gift basket for our teacher for the year. All right, so the final project for this pack is the bag tag. So you will see where it will come with this little craft paper type material on it. This is just to help protect the acrylic. So we're just gonna remove one side of it. You can remove both if you want, but since this is clear acrylic, I like to keep the other side on so that way I can see it a lot better. So we're just going to lay it down and pick out our design. So there are a few different options that you can use, but I think that Do we want to use Teacher's Gonna Teach, or do we want to use TGIF, the grading is finished? I think I'm gonna use Teacher's Gonna Teach. That's going to match the shirt that we made for this little gift basket. So let's do this one. Okay, and look at all these images that you still have left over that you can make your own other little projects with. There are so many options, and even if you wanted to use any of these on these projects, you absolutely do what you find is your favorite. So let's do this Teacher's Gonna Teach design. And I think for this one, I'm just gonna remove the entire backing and place it on there. This is more of a flat, smaller piece, so I think that is going to do really well for us. All right, so now I did leave some extra space down here at the bottom so that way I can kind of hold it and place it, but you can absolutely do it however you want. If you want to do the hinge method, if you want to do the wet method, by all means do that. So I'm just going to grab hold of this bottom piece here, and I'm going to hold it up and align it and place it right on there. And then we're gonna use our squeegee to burnish that all on, and then we can just remove that top carrier. There we go, look how cute. And so from there, we can remove this back piece, and we actually have another way where we can further customize these. So if you want to learn more about customizing your UV DTF projects from this pack, please check out the next video in the description below. But we have our bag tag, we have our pin wrap, we have our notebook, and finally our water bottle. So all of these items, plus all of the shirts from the DTF pack, are going to make a really great gift for your teacher this year.